Peace, and love, everybody. Happy Friday. Hopefully, everybody's day was good and productive. We are going to get started here shortly. We're going to have some people coming in, but I believe we are recording now. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome. Be seated. Thank you for joining the Hospitality Bros. My name is Paul Carr. I will be moderating tonight's discussion with the incomparable Sam Bullock III and the ever sensational, incredible Tarek David. Both of these guys are my brothers, and together they are Hospitality Bros. So I like how you got this set up, fellas. It's right above Sam's caricature is Sam, and right above Tarek's character is Tarek.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to the designer. Y'all want to give us some insight on the design and the concept before we get started?
Go ahead, TD. Why don't you take this one?
Well, Hospitality Bros just came about to so we could all come together. You know, it's been a lot of changes that we've been dealing with this year, 2020. And one of the changes that we've been dealing with is that we can't fellowship, we can't get together and hang out like we used to. You know, I'm a big fan of fellowship, you know what I'm saying, making some fresh drinks for the people. We used to do a potluck brunch at our house every second Sunday of the month, and everybody would bring whatever they had. Donuts, their favorite recipe they like to cook, you know what I'm saying, the favorite they got in their back pocket, a bottle of champagne, a six-pack of beer, whatever. We just have a blast and we just go. You know, we can't do things like this right now. Everybody's at home, everybody's cooking. Some people run out of recipes, you know what I'm saying, and run around different things, trying to figure out how to switch up this thing. You know, a lot of us communicating via the Zoom. Just everything's happening Zoom now, happening over the internet, and connecting to people the same way. We still have to connect. You know what I'm saying? It's necessary for us as human beings to still connect. And unfortunately, we have to change the way we do that right now. So Hospitality Bros is really a method that we can all connect, build and vibe, you know what I'm saying, about all things that are important to us, you know what I'm saying, our people, our culture, the restaurant culture, cocktail information, cocktail knowledge. So we'll be doing all these things, bringing these things to the people through a variety of different, modes of content that we're going to be offering.
That's dope.
So, yeah.
That's dope. So
I'll
throw this. Thank you for that, sir. I'll throw this question to Sam. I don't think many people, because food is something that we do on a regular basis. I mean, we need to do it every day, obviously, or pretty regularly in order to live, as well as drink. You know, we have to do these things. This is part of being human. But I think that because it's something we do, we take it for granted. So could you talk to people about some of the processes that we don't see that are in the back of the house? Some of the things that in the hospitality industry, we don't understand the magic behind how our meal is as dope as it is, and what Hospitality Bros intends to do to explain to the people, to give them a sneak peek of what this magic behind food and drink in the hospitality industry is about. Could you talk to our audience and our friends and fam about exactly what Hospitality Bros intends to do to share that magic?
So I think what attracted us to this platform to get everything going to this point right now was our desire to fellowship and to commune with one another and enjoy good food. So these are the things, this is like the common denominator that joined us. And uniquely, I think this is something that individuals in the community that we're talking to right now, that we're sharing with right now, people that we just touch day to day, love fellowshipping with family, fellowshipping with friends. And I think that was really the catalyst for us to try to get this thing going, P. And what I really like about it is, like you said, very eloquently, like pull, peek behind the curtain, the magic, get a chance to see the magic that makes it happen. That's ideally what we want to do. A lot of times we really don't know what goes into making those spectacular meals when we go to these, these formal dining concepts or these casual dining concepts. We don't know what goes into it, right? We make our reservation, we show up dressed to the nines. Order our drink, toast our glass, wait for our food, fellowship, and we dip. but there's a whole thing behind the scenes that's really making it, making that thing work. We want to give you a glimpse of that. So a couple things I can drop right now is just the prep and the planning. Everything is deliberate. It might look effortless, and it might look seamless, and that's the whole design concept of hospitality. Me walking into a restaurant, you guys walking into a restaurant, our family out here walking into a restaurant, you should want for nothing. I can't think of anything more horrible than a poor dining or hospitality experience, right? You and just think about it. Even from a casual dining concept. Sir, may I have a little bit more ketchup? No problem. 15 minutes later, you see this guy chatting with the table down the way. You still don't have your ketchup. That's an issue. So those are the kinds of things that we want to address. We want to nip in the bud, and then that just that's a little bit of a peek behind some of the things that are at play or are in play when we talk about this whole hospitality industry and arena. I take it seriously. I think customer service and the culinary industry, culinary as a concept, sometimes can be misconstrued. It can sometimes get a bad rap. That scenario I just mentioned might piss one person off, where it might be nothing for the next person. We as the professionals are looking to be the individuals to address those things front and center and try and drive discussion around those points. Right. Tark's an avid history buff. He brings a lot of knowledge to the table when you're talking about the background behind food, the background behind beverage. We want to get into those kinds of discussions as well. We want to talk about ways in which you can prepare different types of cuisine, how you can do that quickly and easily. We have a lot of different friends in the industry and in the arena that are on concepts like this, that have started their own blogs, that are posting pictures of food that they've made, that are posting recipes. They're looking at, the New York Times cooking section, Bon Appetit, the Cooking Channel, Food Network, and they're running with these recipes at home, which I think is a sort of a double-edged sword. Obviously, the nature of COVID has sort of confined folks to the virtual workplace. But the benefit of that is that we've had a chance to cook more. We've had a chance to fellowship with our families more. We've had a chance to find different mediums in which we can communicate with one another. Tarek and I recently got a chance to meet well over a couple months ago, and we've been we haven't pressed the flesh, as they would say. We haven't shaken one another's hands, but we are brothers. Paul, I've known you for well over 20 years, and I can't recall the last time we've been able to communicate as often as we have been. And maybe that's a testament to just the environment that we're in. This sort of thing is a catalyst for us as well. But those kinds of things are really what I think uniquely drives the love and the energy and the impetus behind what we want to do with Hospitality Bros. And we want to make the shit fun. We want to be, we really want to, dispel rumors. When I get together with my guys and my lady friends, we want to let our hair down. When I did have hair, we want to let our hair down, pour up a little drink, and tell some lies, have some fun, and that's what we want to do. So, and as we go on, I'll get more and more to the technical nuances of the industry, specifically as it relates to food.
Yeah, right.
But those are the kinds of concepts that we really want to tackle. There's a litany of key things that happen behind this hospitality production, and that's really what we want to entertain and address.
So one of the things that I would like to share with the audience is how I gained a new appreciation for the hospitality industry. So I've known both of y'all more than half my life. And I'm grateful for that. But like I said earlier, we take for granted often the fact that, there is a magic and a specialness about, there's something uniquely, there's something uniquely, I'm thinking I'm looking for the word, uniquely special about the hospitality industry. And because we eat every day, we take it for granted. Like nobody thinks about the miracle that is, let's say, just breathing on planet Earth, because we do it all the time. But to be quite honest, there are forces of gravity that are working to not only hold us down, but compress us. And there's our own internal fight against that keeps us from being crushed by gravity. So just like breathing, just like the apparatus of breathing, we take food and drink for granted. So I think what happened is two particular experiences that really blew my mind as it relates to what you guys do. So one, we'll go back to the beginning of the year when Tarek was here in Detroit working at a beautiful dinner that Whole Foods put on with his sister Akua. And what we were able to do, what we were invited into like this dope dinner party. So there were, I don't know, maybe 60 or 70 people in this dinner party that Tarek had, had part in running and hosting and the design of it. Great dishes. The beverages were perfect. You had vegan options, vegetarian options, meat-based options. And then afterwards, so he talked about, I watched him do his thing. So as a music guy, as an audio engineer, I really get off on the behind the scenes of how the magic is put into a song and a record. And so I always like watching. I enjoy the shoot around more than the actual game, or I like batting practice and the infield practice that baseball players take more than watching the game sometimes. I enjoy the creative process, the behind the scenes thing. So with Tarek, I got an opportunity to see how his brain works. And I got to peek into the genius a little bit. And so he started peeling back the layers and thinning the veil for me. And he left me with this important quote that was like, I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the effect of, when you go to a restaurant, you want to try something new to eat and new to drink every time. And it blew my mind because I always order the same shit. Every time I go somewhere, I have my favorites. And Tarek encouraged me to become more brave in my hospitality experience. So we had dinner. We went to a spot called Chartreuse, which is right next to the DIA. He had reservations, and I let go of control, and I allowed the chef to prepare whatever it was that he was going to prepare for me. And they made this vegan meal from scratch. I tried things I had never tried, and then he made this vegan dessert from scratch, and the experience was amazing. I allowed them to be artists, right? I allowed the restaurant to give me a dining experience that I probably would never have had if I just went in and picked what I was used to ordering, right? So that was number one, where I realized, okay, there's some magic in this shit. And then number two, like, me and Sam, we went to high school and college together. I don't know if y'all can see, but I'm representing Morehouse. There you go. Okay, so I got my Morehouse shirt on too. So, excellent since 1867. So anyway, I've known Sam more than half my life. I've known Tarek more than half my life, but I never really understood exactly how, what made Sam tick. You know what I mean? And so this thing that started blowing me away was, by this time, normally the high school homies, we would have already connected and linked up at somebody's house with some food and some kickback, but coronavirus. So we couldn't do anything. So we started doing these Zoom calls. We would just pick a Saturday afternoon. We catch up on Zoom and talk shit. And so we had this idea. Sam said, hey, let's cook. I'm going to give you guys a recipe. Everybody cooks it. And, we'll have whatever it is that we're going to drink with it. And we'll all get together virtually as if we were in each other's presence. And so that for me was like, oh man, I got to introduce these guys. So then you guys met and then took it and ran with it. And here's Hospitality Bros. So please share with the people like what this concept of this, this virtual like dining experience will be like. What are the things that you plan to offer outside of showing people what the magic is, like how the trick works, letting them be close to the magic? How do you intend to bring people together through Hospitality Bros? How you changed my life. You both transformed my life with those two insights that are so vitally important. Now I live my life that way, which is crazy. Two simple things, just dining experiences literally changed my life, where now I'm more present and I'm in the moment and I'm allowing life to treat me, so to speak. And I owe it to you guys. So I'm grateful. but please share like how you intend on doing this with everybody else.
Well, I just want to take a couple minutes and address that. There's a few things that I think that we're going to address specifically within the virtual medium that you highlighted. A lot of things that I'm hearing about are, hey, I had a buddy of mine just last week out in Ann Arbor, man. He invested in a nice smoker. He was putting down a meal for a couple of students. He's a professor there in Ann Arbor, and he was putting down a meal for a couple of students that he was inviting to his place. And he had done a meal a couple of days ago. It didn't work out quite like he had planned. So he called me up. He said, how do you get chicken crispy in the smoker, Sam? How you get that chicken crispy in the smoker? And, the little pouch of hawk, man. Little hawk nuggets. How you get that? How you get that crispy in the smoker? So look, so I jumped in the whip. I drove up there to hang out with him. We made a day of it. We did some cooking, and then as we were talking, the organic sort of presentation of how-to videos and or how-to instruction came about. So one of the things we really want to focus on, specifically with the culinary and the beverage piece, is the how-tos. Right, a lot of people see these amazing things, but how do we execute it? How do I properly cook a paella? How do I do a pisole? How do I make a soup? How do I make a sauce? How do I properly grill vegetables? How do I, those kinds of things. We want to make it
get that crispy chicken skin, B.
Right. We want to make it ubiquitous. We want people to, we want input for our vegans, our vegetarians, and, our carnivores like myself.
Are you a carnivore or omnivore?
Omnivore, right? So I try to be a little bit more. Yeah, I try to be a little bit more plant-based, but that's a different discussion. We'll get into that as well. So we definitely want to focus on the how-to piece. We want to dispel a lot of rumors, maybe put some content out there that's going to really help folks. Tarek is really key and really genius in offering some unique consultative background. I'm gonna allow him to talk a little bit about that, but the consultation piece as well. You can log on with us and ask us questions. You're having difficulty executing an event, or you have some questions working out a cocktail or a dish. We want to be able to weigh in and give you some expertise and some tips regarding those things. Later on down the line, once the strictures and the restrictions of being able to visit one another are lifted, we'll do more hands-on and one-on-one types of things. We want to invite some of our culinary, celebrity, non-celebrity, genius friends to the mix and do some presentations in that, and just let's wow each other with some of the things that we can create and we can come up with. So those are the kinds of things that we really want to do. Those are just a few things that I know we're going to tackle that were just born out of that experience that you had, Paul, because there are a lot of people that have that, man. When I go out, I order the same thing, or I don't know what to order. We want to dispel a lot of that and make sure people are comfortable when they are embracing this hospitality situation.
Word. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
No doubt.
So Tarek, please talk to me about that advice that you gave, or talk to us about that advice that you gave me. And
I'm going to jump on that a little bit. So
yeah, please. Uh-oh, we're losing T.
We're losing sound.
Yeah, it looks like we're losing them.
Man, it's important. So human beings are creatures of habit. Just like you said, we used to go into one place, we go place one time. Testing.
Now we got you.
You back?
Yeah, we lost you after one time. Yeah.
All right, word. So just like so human beings are creatures of habit. We tend to go to one restaurant, we try a sandwich there for the first time. The next time we go, same sandwich. You go to the restaurant one time. We order the same thing, we get a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? We go back, we get the same sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Now we don't.
Yes.
So I think it's important for all of us to open up. You know, it was a long time. Stories. I want to break this thing open by telling stories. I love stories. The first time that I didn't have avocado until I was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? And it was because I looked at it and I was like, it's green, it's mushy. When the air hits it, it turns black. I don't want to eat that. But then when I had some guacamole, I was like, yo, this is delicious. And I've been missing out on this my entire life. And so it really just changed everything. And so from then on, when I went to a restaurant, I started working there. I made sure I ate everything.
Dope.
Man, look back. So when I first saw them, I was like, they're green, they're mushy. Like when the air hits them, they turn all black. You know what I'm saying? But then the first time I had guacamole, I was like, yo, that's amazing. And I was like, man, I've been missing out on this just because I refused to open up, you know? And this is a great experience, something I really enjoy now. I love avocado. You know what I'm saying? To this day, smash them raw. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so then it just changed my perspective. When I started going to back to my favorite restaurants, I started trying everything on the menu. Restaurants where I worked, instead of eating the same sandwich I ate every day for my break in between the double, I started to go down the menu and just try each thing. You know what I mean? And I learned about different ingredients, different flavor profiles, and learned a lot of new things that I liked. I had no idea that I liked, you know? Cats be like, I don't like Brussels sprouts. I'm like, have you actually had, how many ways have you had Brussels sprouts?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you not like Brussels sprouts because everybody doesn't like Brussels sprouts? You actually never tried them. You know what I mean? So we have to open ourselves up to these things. And so I try to, you know what I'm saying, approach life like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just build our container, live a grander and fuller life. You know, it's like reading education, you know what I'm saying? It helps you lead a richer and fuller life. So I try to, you know, anything, like I said, I go out, my man, my brother-in-law,
Oh, look like we might be losing them again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
we lost you at your brother-in-law.
man. So when I go out to a restaurant, I'm sitting at a bar, and if I see a bottle up on the shelf, I'm like, I don't know what that bottle is. I'm like, yo, bartender, can I check some of that? Can I get a little taste? You know, I'll take a picture of it, log it in my mind, so that way I understand that flavor profile for later.
I do that same
And
shit.
maybe grab a bottle at the store, you know what I'm saying, do some research on it, look it up, and really helps me just put a lot of different things together, flavor profiles, really helps me creating cocktails.
Dope.
Y'all let me know where. So my brother-in-law kind of had the same experience, you know what I'm saying, with us going out. We sit at the bar, we go to the bar, and I always, if I see any new bottle, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying that bottle. You know what I mean? And he's like, what you doing? I'm like, yo, I'm just going to check, I'm going to see if they let me get a little taste of that. The bartenders, we in the industry, they said, like, yeah, boop, you know what I mean? It's service, you know? So they understand I'm trying to have an experience. Like, oh, yeah, he likes to try shit. Let me hit him up. Boom, boom, boom. You know, so I just asked, I don't go too hardcore, but you know what I'm saying? 1 or 2 bottles, I've never seen them before I asked them to try them. And more times than not, it just opens me up, you know what I'm saying, to a flavor profile, the taste, something I never experienced. And even though you may not like something by itself, do some research, you find out this and this pairs very well, and you're like, oh, wow, let me try that. And then you try that, and it's like, yo, got something. But it's all about, man, leading a richer and fuller life, honestly. You know?
So we're going
to help you do that. We're going to tell you some stories. We're going to build on some history, cocktails, how things work together. We're going to teach you how to make some simple, classic, delicious drinks, just from stuff you may have in your house. You know what I mean? A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we think that the craft cocktail industry, I mean, it is boom, 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 it flips, you know what I'm saying? It is all of that, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you can have classic cocktails with 3 ingredients. You know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised how many classic cocktails only have 3 ingredients. And you learn variations about stuff you have in your house. We're going to teach you how to go in your kitchen and be like,
So that's dope. I think that what you're speaking to
now you're breaking up.
Oh, okay. All right. I think that Sam, can you hear me?
I can hear you good.
Okay. I think that what Tarek is speaking to and what you're speaking to, both of you guys are talking about a deeper concept. So not to get super, deep here or spiritual, but it really sounds like through hospitality.
That's mad delay. I got bugs.
I think through through hospitality, you guys are talking about experiencing life in its vast richness and the
I think
depth
we're
of
back
it.
on now.
So that's kind of like what I'm gathering from it, and I'm reading some comments. Jack has joined us. Jack Sonny has joined us, and he says, "My experience in dining changed forever. Getting to know the chefs. Now I prefer to just let the chef make the call, make whatever he wants to send me, but I do try to be aware of how busy the kitchen is." And then he says, "I actually hate to order off the menu." So that's dope. So like letting somebody do their thing and making you what they think you'll like is, I think, for you guys, one of the highest forms of love and appreciation.
Why not enjoy it as much as you can?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so, for me, I'm thinking like
one of the things
that I'm seeing, one of the Target's delay is hilarious. But one of the things that I'm seeing that's really dope is that, through the hospitality industry, you guys have found your own, damn near almost like a spiritual thing where you are unlocking the sweetness of life. You know what I mean? Through making people happy with your food presentation, through what you're cooking, through your drinks, and how you're entertaining. I don't know. I don't know if Tyreek is laughing at what I'm saying now or the delay part.
Right. It probably was the delay part. I don't know. That's hilarious.
But I can't hear him. Hold on. It's going to come in soon.
I was laughing at the delay part. This is going to be delayed too. But anyway, I agree with you. I agree with you. Spiritual vibes. Service, that smile. What I live for, I love it. You know, somebody asks you what they want, you know what I'm saying? Or they don't know what they want. I start talking to them, and like, boom, 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 boom.
Word.
Like that's what I live for. That's what it is.
So then I think what we gotta start doing is figuring out.
Delay's funny on my end too, because I see all that stuff.
I think we gotta start figuring out as consumers then what it is that we're going to do differently to have a different dining experience and stop eating solely out of utility, right? So I think the hospitality buzz comes in to show, you got to eat to live. Quite literally, you need to eat, but also to enjoy life. Let's do something different. And so this virtual thing that you guys have come up with is so super dope to me, solely because we can't get together right now.
Right.
There are very few restaurants and very few places across the country that are allowing, dining in, and the experience, from what I've seen in videos, it's like you got partitions, you got people in masks or whatever. So this allows us to kind of be ourselves at home while you guys walk us through, if I'm understanding the concept correctly, walk us through, the preparation behind the food and the drink, how they pair, and then having conversations amongst one another, talking. What about, the only thing that's missing is music, you know what I mean? At that point, outside of being together, the only thing is like, the ambiance. So is there something in the works for that, where you guys have something in mind to tie us together with conversation and music, as well as the dining experience that's provided?
Yeah, we're looking at doing all of that. So we've got, you have a very layered and elaborate musical mind yourself. So we have called upon you. We called upon some of our other partners. My dear brother, DJ Whip, has also curated some sounds and some tunes for us. And uniquely, it can tie in. It's amazing how music can tie in just to the overall hospitality experience. It can speak to, the culinary genre. It can speak to your cocktails. So we really want to introduce that as well. It's going to be a really cool piece. I don't know if you're familiar with a guy named Darius Cooks. He's all over. He's got his own website. He's all over YouTube and Facebook, and he's put out a couple cookbooks. Dynamic brother. We've had a chance to I've had a chance to sit down at one of his events, and he does a similar kind of concept where he just brings everybody together, serves a dynamic meal. But the one thing that kind of stood out was the music. So he recognizes the importance of that as well. And I think professionals in this industry realize it's important to tie together the entire culinary, the entire experience. And when I say culinary, it encompasses everything. It has to be the food, it has to be the ambiance, it has to be the drinks, it has to be, just the whole cadence of it just has to rock and sway a certain way. So each of us got style, we all got swagger. We want to bring that to the table, as it were, and that's what we're looking. That's what we're looking to do.
Tarek, chime in on that. I would like to hear your take on like what it is that your ultimate goal is reaching out to people in this virtual space. Like, what do you ultimately hope to influence in folks' lives? Because in a minute, I want y'all to dive in, and you can segue into how you got into hospitality, so that people understand your background.
Or actually, I think ultimately I want to empower people. To be able to make cocktails, food, to create hospitality experiences, create fellowship experiences, feel like they have the ability to do this for their people, create experiences for their people. Really is about demystifying the process, just a little bit of education, teaching people. It's amazing. I mean, even computers, man, we've been working. I've had to learn so much more computering that I never imagined I'd have to dig into, so it's the little things that I've been able to dive into and learn, and just that little bit of knowledge is extremely empowering. And I really want to give that to people. You know what I'm saying? So next time somebody comes over, instead of just offering them a Crown and Coke, you can offer them a classic daiquiri, French 75. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, what's that? You can make that here? Like, I heard they got those restaurants, but it's really only 3 ingredients in the first one and 4 ingredients in the second one. You know what I'm saying? There's lemon juice and sugar water in both of them. So, so it's like, I just want to teach people that you can do this too at home. You know what I mean? Just demystify it.
No doubt. It looks like we lost him.
Oh, we lost him.
Hopefully he can come back. Yeah, hopefully he can come back. But just picking up where he left off, that's exactly what we want to do, man. That, and I really, a lot of, you got to take a little bit of the credit here, PC, as we're building, man. You had really the sort of vision to collect, the 3 of us together, and I think it's right on time. And this is the kind of thing that I think is just going to be helpful and beneficial for folks out there. And there's a lot of this kind of thing, but we want to bring a different spin to it. I think that we bring a different background to it. We bring a different cadence to it. I'm excited to really just sort of dispel some myths and dispel some rumors and talk about all things good food. I'm reading some of these comments, and I'm getting some awesome feedback. I'm getting some great comments. Somebody mentioned about ketchup on tacos, which in my mind is a no. These are all the kinds of things that we really want to touch upon. And again, we want to make it fun. We want to make it engaging. I'm really excited about the direction that we're taking.
Yeah, ketchup on tacos.
I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about, bro.
Ketchup on tacos.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
It's I think that's Ray. Is that Ray? RG.
Yeah, I think that might have been RG. Can y'all convince my man to stop putting ketchup on his tacos?
Oh my gosh. Tarek is dumbfounded right now.
Yeah, I know. He can't even play it. It's weird.
You want to see
me? Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that was a thing. We lost him again. So, as far as the concept goes, one of the things that, it might be just for everybody that's watching, Tarek isn't dipping on purpose. He's in Mississippi. And right. So, we got to make sure that all the people down there are safe due to the tropical storms that are going on. So his connection is spotty right now because they're really getting slammed. Yeah. So hopefully everybody down there is all right. But, as he works to get back on and keep his connection, I think that's part of it. Let's see. I see him coming back here.
Yeah.
But you know, as far as let me get him his spot here. Let's see. There we go. All right. So, all right, we understand that it's storming down there, it's pissing down there.
Word.
You know, so it says Darius Cooks is committed to catch up on tacos. RG is Rayo. Oh, Rayo Gaines, got it.
Oh,
okay.
RG Rayo. I got you.
Tacos.
Yep.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
hilarious.
That's funny. That's gross.
Yeah, I don't get
But,
that. That's new for me.
So yeah, we were talking. I mean, I don't know, man. I think that you know, we were going through it. You know, when we had those Zooms, we were kind of going through it. We missed each other. You know what I mean? This is something we have a high school thread, a text thread, and we're always dropping some silly jokes, corny jokes. It gets kind of sometimes some days you can come back and you miss 200 texts. You set your phone down for 20 minutes and you know it's gone in 2 or 3 different tangents. It's funny.
I'm guilty.
But one of the things that we realized was like, you know, we really honestly need to be in each other's company, and because we can't do that, you know, whether we're caring for elders or we have people in our homes or in our families that are, you know, they're high risk for, you know, COVID. We had to be smart about it, and so just doing that Zoom meeting was kind of liberating because we could kind of sit back and talk shit the same way we did when we were catching up at Guy's crib or, you know, whatever it was, and we were just kind of lounging. And so I'm really excited that you guys are doing this because what it allows us to do is catch up with our family members and our friends and loved ones that aren't in our immediate spaces in our homes that we can't see, that we can't go visit. You know, it's summertime. Normally people are traveling while the kids are out of school. We're visiting, you know, each other. Tarek, by this time, we would have caught up in DC. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of put a monkey wrench in everybody's program. But this is a dope hack to me, you know, that you guys said, okay, well, fuck it. We can use, absolutely. We keep going. You guys say, fuck it. You know, we can use technology to make sure that we're in each other's lives intimately, that we're sitting down and we're talking and eating and drinking. And I just think this is a beautiful, brilliant concept. And honestly, I don't know 2 better people. Yeah, there are a lot of folks that are doing things that are innovative and cutting edge, but nobody's doing this from that I've seen. And I don't know 2 better people that love this in a way that translates, right? So clearly you have chefs, you got people that run the front of the house, that run the bar, that love what they're doing. And they affect your life when you're there, but not in a way that translates to people sitting back and realizing, oh, wow, I need to change some shit about how I'm living. So the fact that you guys had that impact on me is a no-brainer that you link together with Hospitality Bros and do something. So I'm looking forward to the next dinner. But before we get into that, I really want to ask you guys to unpack your backgrounds and how you got started. Because Tarek, you weren't in this industry when we first met. You were just getting ready to get in here. Sam, you were on a different trajectory altogether. And I had no idea where your love of culinary arts came from, either one of you guys. I remember when Tarek got his first job. Was it Houston's?
Nah, well, that was one of the early ones. The first one was My Brother's Cafe.
Okay. So talk about that real quick. Break it down.
So for me, it was always had this dream of opening a restaurant when I was young for whatever reason. One thing I used to love to bake when I was young, and I would bake muffins, you know what I'm saying, biscuits, whatever, cupcakes, and I'd bring them to Thanksgiving at my grandma's house or Easter, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then when I was in high school, I used to bake cookies for my girlfriend, you know what I'm saying, and bring them to school, and she used to love it, you know what I'm saying? And so then they like, you know what I'm saying, they say, wait, a man's heart is through his stomach, like, it's way to everybody's heart, you know what I'm saying? And so I realized that, and it was honestly, and it was a joy, man. It was just like, it was this, I mean, it's almost like tangible joy. You know what I'm saying? With food and drink, you know, so I really just, I saw it there and was like, I want to start working in restaurants. And, you know what I'm saying? I went through some rough patches of life and made some bad decisions that lead me to think about what I was going to do in my future. And I was like, I've always wanted to work in restaurants. I've always wanted to own a restaurant. Let me go to culinary school. I don't have money for culinary school. Let me get a job at a restaurant. So that's when I started working at Mozzarella's Cafe. and climbed up fast in management there. And then really, just start from there, I started to see just all the pieces. I did this contest actually called Spec Wars. And so specs in restaurant terminology are pretty much specifications for how something's supposed to be done. These mushrooms need to be chopped 1/8 of an inch thick for this particular salad. And you should have 2.5 ounces of mushrooms on this salad. It should be on top layer in this order. The mushrooms should come after the cheese and before the croutons. You know what I'm saying? But just say, for example, you know what I mean? Like that's how it goes. So we had this contest called Spec Wars. And so I got in there and I won that jump. You know what I'm saying? And we was like a local, they had the restaurant jump, then they had the regional competition. So I walked in there with my Timbs and my bald head at the time, you know what I'm saying, my t-shirt, my jeans, and a bunch of white boys, you know what I'm saying, a few white girls, and smoked them. And they were just like, what? You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, it was something about all the gears, the aspects of how they all fit together. And for me, it's a dance. You know what I'm saying? It's a dance. It's like a huge machine. When you go into the restaurant, I can walk to a restaurant and look around and see everything that's going on. It used to drive my wife crazy. I could turn it off now. You know what I'm saying? But back in the day, it used to drive her nuts.
That's me with music. That's me with the music that's playing overhead. I hear all of the parts. I know first of all, I know the song that's playing. Everybody's this background noise. And then on top of that, I can hear how many string arrangement. I can hear, I can't turn that audio engineer shit off, dude. I can't. I've gotten better, but yeah.
And when I realized it was all these gears that you need to be when pluck and pull during the slow times, during the busy times, when you got too much staff, you have emergency on the line, when you have emergency on the floor, when you got some guests pissed off over here, boom, 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 just how to tweak all these things, and how to rock it so everybody just has a good time and the joint flows. And really, so it goes like this, it goes up. You know what I mean? And so I love when I saw that, I was like, I want to learn how to do this. You know what I'm saying? It's an instrument. I'm going to learn how to play this instrument. You know what I mean? And so pretty much dedicated, you know what I'm saying? Well, that's what it was. So I've been working 25 years. I worked in restaurants in Washington, D.C., and St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. I worked at Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health in Massachusetts, in the back of the house in the kitchen. I was a general manager of Lamar Lounge in Oxford, Mississippi, run by James Beard award-winning chef John Currents. I left there to open St. Leo, which is nominated for Best New Restaurant with James Beard, I think 2017. Since then, I went to another restaurant, Grid, was general manager there. I went to Lost Pizza Company, became the bar manager there, helped increase their bar program, create a bar program, increase sales, teach people about classic cocktails and techniques. And just kind of keep building. You know what I'm saying? Kind of keep building. And then it happened. I acknowledged that I had capital in my experience. So that was another thing that kind of was like, hospitality brothers, I think this is right, especially with the times.
So tell me, man, real quick, you never really talk about this, but you were with the great Anthony Bourdain, the late great Anthony Bourdain, one of my all-time favorite journalists. He was a cool guy, but as journalism goes, mind fucking blowing. So tell me what it was like for him to have you on his show. What was it, season 2?
No, it was season 3, episode
season
6.
3. Okay.
Episode 6 of
Parts Unknown, right?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's why I think I got the wrong episode in one of my bios, but it's episode 6. But it was wild, man. So he came to Lamar Lounge, to the Mississippi thing. He came to Lamar Lounge because we've been doing a whole hog barbecue there. We were the only restaurant at the time that was doing a whole hog barbecue in the state of Mississippi. So he came there to check it out. And it was wow, because I've loved him. I've read his book since I was back in St. Croix. You know what I'm saying? Read all his books. People even know he's a fiction writer. And he's got a few fiction novels that he's written that are amazing as well. Check those out. Anthony Bourdain's fiction novels. But super cool guy. I watched his show and I was just like, he's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Thought his life was like totally amazing. And so when I heard it was coming, I was like, wow. So I got to hang out with him in the back. We spent probably about 6-7 hours filming the show. Just hanging out in the back by the smoke pit in the restaurant. And it was dope, because it was like, you could tell he was working, but he was still just him. You know what I'm saying? So he's talking, he's eating some food, and he's like, oh, man, that's good. He had my jerk chicken recipe. He was like, that's good. And I was like, But that was dope. But
That's
we
dope.
just talking, you know what I'm saying? We talked about a book that we were reading in common called COD, actually, the history of the world through the COD trade back in the day. So we talked about that a little bit.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, man. It's another one called Salt. It's about the kind of same similar premise. But we were just talking and vibing, and he was like, all right, it's time to go inside. And I called my wife, and I was like, yo, you want me Anthony Bourdain? She was like, yeah.
Just so, hey, you want to, just so out of the blue.
You around? You want to come by real quick and meet Anthony Bourdain? Yeah. And so her and the kids came by, and I was like, yo, you mind if, you know what I'm saying, wife, kids come by? And he's like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, we're cool. So they come in, he's talking to Bijou, you know what I'm saying, my third oldest, and he's like, man, just make me miss my wife and daughter. And I was like, man, you got a daughter now, you know what I'm saying, a wife. And I was like, how much time do you get to spend with him? And he was like, man, honestly, he's like probably about a week out of every month. And I was like, wow, you know what I mean? And it was bugged because all this time, like I thought that he had the most amazing life. You know, just travel around the world, you know what I'm saying, guests at all these restaurants and people's houses and all these amazing experiences, boom, boom. But like, really, he was like, man, I kind of want to see my family more, you know? And so that really hit me just as far as what we think we want in life, you know what I'm saying, versus what we actually want and valuing what we have, you know what I'm saying, versus always looking at the other side like the grass is greener, you know? So it was powerful in a bunch of ways, you know, hanging out with Bourdain. But yeah, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was dope.
That's beautiful. So it's interesting that you talk about your, you know, your questionable decisions. You know, in hindsight, are they so questionable that it led you to this point in your life where you're impacting as many people as you are through this medium that you love, and that you're actually fucking incredible at? You know what I mean? Like,
thanks, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Are they bad decisions at this point? Like, do you look back at them and think of them as bad decisions, or were they necessary for you to be here?
Definitely necessary, man. Definitely feel that everything.
That's my Confucius shit for today.
Yeah, no, yeah, man. And I'm on that too, yo. The Khalil Gibran, get on that Khalil Gibran, the prophet, y'all. But
right.
But yeah, man. Everything I experienced is part of my path, man. And so what happened was I got stabbed on a basketball court. You know what I'm saying? The fight I was in. I got stabbed 3 times in my lung and my lung collapsed, kidney got nicked. You know what I'm saying? The doctor was doing double takes. He was looking at my chart. And he looked at me and said, "You're supposed to be here." You know what I mean? And really, I was like, shit, all right, so let me stop fucking around. And so then I started, you know what I'm saying, moving different. And definitely just a lot of those struggles, you know what I'm saying, those triumphs have led me to have the strength that I have now, you know what I mean? And of course, wouldn't be who I am, you know what I'm saying, without those experiences. So definitely thankful for I wouldn't change them, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the moment, you know what I'm saying? You're like, man, I'm definitely not going to wish to get stabbed. But looking back on it, the strength, just from the experience that I've developed, received from it at so many different levels. I wouldn't trade that for anything.
So take a look at your screen and peep that question real quick, Tard. This one is for you. This one you can answer. So is it Will Hill 32 says, fuck all that. Fuck all that. What drinks do I make right now? What drink do I need right now, son?
Drink it, dog.
Yeah, fuck all that. Hey, he hits you with a niggas get stabbed every day, B. What drink do I need right now?
All right, so look right now. So I don't know if you had this. So my favorite is a cocktail is the Last Word. You know what I'm saying? I know that brother, that's my brother-in-law. You know what I'm saying? He knows that. Last Word, classic cocktail, originated in Detroit, 1930s Detroit Supper Club, right? It's got my favorite ingredient, green chartreuse. Represent Chartreuse Bros. Shout out to Uncle Mom 31, Joe Stinchcomb. But so Last Word, it's gonna be 3 parts. It's gonna be equal parts of green chartreuse, lime juice, Luxardo, and gin. All right, 3/4 ounces of each. Shake it up, strain it into a glass, no ice. You know what I'm saying? If you have a sexy coupe glass, rock that. If you don't have any
wait, a sexy what?
A coupe. Do I have a coupe? I don't have a coupe glass around. I don't have one in my bar.
Describe it for me.
Is that a snifter or?
It's like, will you grab me a coupe glass, Adrian?
So the snifter kind of tapers at the top. Is the coupe straight?
Coupe is the exact opposite. It's open. You know what I'm saying? It's open and it's going to come down and close. It's kind of like if a martini glass got smashed into like a half circle.
I've seen these before. I never knew. I
Talking
just called them glasses. They're all
they're all glasses to me.
Those
yeah.
sexy glasses.
I'm learning though. I like this because now I can sound intelligent about.
Bro.
Ah,
Oh, okay. All right.
So I've seen Leonardo DiCaprio toast this like in every fucking movie.
That's fancy.
You know what I'm saying? Just
a small rounded martini.
That's fancy. I got to get my glassware game up.
Glassware game. We're gonna talk about that a little bit too, guys.
Yeah.
You can freshen up your party so hard with some cheap glasses that you got a Goodwill for 80 cents. You know what I'm saying? For real.
If I hit people with that, my stock might rise a few notches. I hit them with that shit.
Yeah, dog.
I'm telling you, that's a little secret. You go to thrift stores and you get glasses. You buy 2 bugged out glasses with gold foil and all of that for $2.25.
Jack says that these are excellent for champagne.
Yeah, that's the hack right there. That's the hack right there.
That's the
Take
hack.
that with you guys. So yeah,
I will.
DJ, get on that last word. If you don't have any gin, switch out the gin for some mezcal if you want. It's a lot of different variations. You can even switch out the gin for bourbon if you have that. 3 parts, you know what I'm saying? 3/4 ounces of each. What happened? All right, so 3/4 ounces of each.
My bad. That was me. Wrong button.
Sam was looking at
I was trying to chop in the video.
1,000 apologies. My bad.
Bro, you're a handsome brother, man. That was
boom. Take that front street. But yeah, man. But you can switch those. That's the thing. Switch those ingredients up for last word. As far as a base liquor, for gin, mezcal, or bourbon, you have a great cocktail. That's just drink right now if you got it. Yeah, I'll teach you.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, if you got it. You ain't got to chartreuse. You know what I'm saying? I'll teach y'all what to do. If you got a bottle of rum, you got a lime, you got some sugar, make yourself a daiquiri. Daiquiri is great. Classic cocktail. A lot of times, like people that are kind of connoisseur of beverages, they'll use that as their gauge when they go into a bar is where a bartender is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, make me a daiquiri. A lot of times people think about those slushy, horrible Jones with red 40 and all kinds of shit in it. That's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? But that
out the Slurpee machine.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Slurpee machine with some Everclear in it. That's a daiquiri. I'm like, no, that's not. No, we don't want that. There's 2 parts. It's gonna be 2 parts of rum, 1 part simple syrup, 1 part fresh lime juice. Simple syrup is just sugar water, pretty much.
So rum, sugar water, simple syrup, lime juice, and what was the other?
That's it. Yeah, rum and look, simple syrup is sugar water. I'm saying it's 1-in-1 ratio, 1 part sugar. You know what I'm saying? 1 part water. You know what I'm saying? Make the water hot. Make sure everything dissolves. Squeeze some lime juice. 2 parts of rum. You know what I'm saying? However you want your parts to be. You know what I'm saying? Get your ratios. 2. I like that. 2 parts of rum. You know what I'm saying? This simple syrup and then lime. Pour some ice. Shake it up. You got a coupe.
Word.
You see that style right there? You see what he did with the woo woo woo?
I did. I peeped that.
Those are the bartender tricks. Good bartender. You got muscle memory.
Look, you notice how everybody shut the fuck up when the bartender is shaking?
Yeah.
Nobody's saying nothing.
Because it's serious. All right, so Sam, you got to give us the breakdown. So you had a completely different trajectory in life, and it took you or brought you to where you are today. Break it down for us. How did you get from Morehouse College on a path to being a finance mogul to the great chef that you are? What's that?
I said, this dude really trying to moderate. Put me on the spot. All right, we got 7 minutes. We got 7 minutes. I'm going to take 2.
Okay. All right.
So real quick. So yes, I was in a whole different industry, P, when you knew me, man. Mm-hmm. And we had these conversations. You wasn't feeling me at all back in Morehouse when I was talking that, man. I like that. I'm not going there. But I was talking
like that, though.
Right. I'm gonna go to New York and beat this. He was like, yeah, all right, man, good luck. And just didn't work out. I had some family things and ended up coming back to Detroit, worked a little bit in the business. Ultimately, while I was in the business, oddly enough, I was tapped to run for a city commission position in Battle Creek, Michigan. Right. I was new to the area.
Mhm.
and I had met a guy that moved in from Wisconsin to run the local chapter of the Urban League,
No,
and they
no.
didn't have a young professionals group at the time. So long before this shit, when I was young, right?
Mhm.
So they didn't have a young professionals group at the time. I partnered with him, ran for the seat, won. We started building with the Urban League, and then when we established the young professionals group, we started doing these wine and food tasting events. So then I started meeting, people around the community in southwestern Michigan that were doing wine, and I was going to places like St. Joe, Michigan, Paw Paw, Michigan, Benton Harbor, places I had never been, and I didn't realize how proliferated the wine culture was out there.
Mm.
So that kind of sparked it for me, and I remember I was speaking with a sommelier there in Kalamazoo, which is very close to Battle Creek. And just through some of those conversations, I knew that the hospitality thing was something I should look into, because it started to awaken things that were in my past. Growing up in a large family, having those huge Sunday dinners, traveling to my father's hometown, Boston, Massachusetts, sitting around that huge table. And I remember, as a kid or as an adolescent, walking into the kitchen, seeing all of this alchemy going on in the kitchen, trying to ask how do you make that? And what goes into that? And nobody would tell me. Nobody would tell me, bro.
Why?
And then later I found out with my dad, and this might not have been true with my grandma and my great aunts, but with my dad, he was like, son, I just didn't know. I knew what I knew, and I just did my thing, and it turned out good. But I didn't know you put this much of this and this much of that. I didn't know.
It was a feel for him.
Yeah, it was a feel for him. But his food was always amazing. But I took that. I was like, why y'all not sharing this magic? I said, you know what? I know what. I'm going to go to culinary school. I'm going to find out myself.
So,
and that's ultimately what I did. So, when I left Battle Creek, I didn't go back east to Detroit. I went west to Chicago. So I landed in Chicago. I stayed there for 2 years, and actually closer to 3 years. And that's where I sort of, my culinary passion, shaped. I went to school there. And from there, I traveled the world a little bit. And 2 years later, I came back to Michigan, and that's sort of what started my culinary career. So I looked for opportunities to really align myself with every aspect of the culinary world. And I mean, from peeling potatoes and chopping onions all the way up to managing budgets and running kitchens and planning staff meetings and things of that nature. And then really getting into coming into my own and wanting to do whole hospitality arrangement, align myself with cats like y'all that have swagger and have a vision of what's needed in the industry, and being confident enough to chase that for myself. That's really what drove me to this place where I am now. So now I'm all about awakening and chasing those new things that are on the cusp or on the precipice of change and of greatness and of newness in the culinary industry, and paying homage to what's classic, homage to what has come before us, and making sure those time-honored techniques and tools are never forgotten, but ensuring that we align ourselves with what's new in the industry, and then being an open book, man, sharing my knowledge, having these kinds of conversations. I don't want to be snooty about this shit. I think everybody needs to know it. So
come on, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody needs to know it, man. And like we had talked about, life is too short to eat shitty food.
Right.
So there's
because I like chartreuse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just like different stuff. I like good stuff. I just like different things. I still like Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? I just like chartreuse too. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, so I'm looking for those opportunities where I connect with individuals to take the shit as seriously as I do. But we don't have to be, we don't have to be pretentious about it. We don't, we can definitely offer tutelage and offer techniques and bring people along with us as we journey down this road. But I don't want to be snooty about the shit at all. I really just want to be an open book as it relates to all of this. So that's kind of where I am, man. And I think we'll see more of that as we just continue to define and roll out exactly what it is we're doing with this group.
Right. Absolutely. Jack, posted a question. He said, if you're hitting a restaurant with a bunch of folks, are you ordering family style or individual?
I love family style. I love family style. Personally, no. I mean, individual meals, plated meals is great, and there's a time for that. But I love family style. You know, I like the I like the social aspect along with that. You know,
everybody tastes everything.
Added to the, you going on a first date, man. Take her to take her someplace where she got to use her hands. Crack open a crab, or
it's an Ethiopian.
Yeah, or eat with Ethiopian or something like that. Get her out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
I really like that social aspect of food, and I'm glad you brought that up, Pete, because the one thing that I really, when I was in Chicago, I had a culinary teacher. He was actually my wine professor, believe it or not, and he lived right across the street from where I was renting a house at the time. And we used to just, after he would keep it hush when we was on campus, but when we was back at the crib, we would talk wine and sit out on the stoop and, smoke cigarettes and drink wine and just catch up. So I remember the one thing that he really said about this whole deal was he said, the whole romance of culinary is what attracted me to this. And that's really what had driven me. I had mentioned about my family and the dinner table and things of that nature. The romance of the dinner table is really what attracted me. The romantic piece of having everybody around the table that you care about, right? And you're preparing a meal that you can see the instant gratification of the meal that you have prepared right then and there. It's not one of those things you have to wait.
Yeah, it's real time, huh?
Yeah, you don't have to, with hospitality and color, you don't have to wait for people to really, confirm what it is that you've done. They're gonna tell you right then and there, this shit is slamming or this is whack. You're gonna know.
I think that's why. I think that's why musicians dig, food and eating, because the recording processes. I'm sure Jack could probably talk about it. You start from you start from writing and conception to recording or demoing and recording, and then you gotta mix and master. All the shit's got to be approved by a label. Then it's got to be freshed up back in the day or whatever, and promoted. And then the people hear it. Then you see whether or not your shit sucks or if everybody loves it. And it's a really agonizing process. But with hospitality, like you said, it's immediate. You cook it. People are like excited. And the dope shit. Here's the dope shit. What I really think, and something similar with comedy, is that people come to the table literally waiting to be happy and pleased. You know what I'm saying? With comedy, like people come to a comedy show ready to laugh. All you got to do is just be funny. All you got to do is make great drinks, great food, and people are like, you've really made someone's night. You know what I mean? With a good dish, so a good meal, a beautiful presentation. So I kind of feel like you really, really gotta suck to fuck up, a dinner. You really got to suck the fuck up a dinner.
Yeah, especially if you're doing for cats.
I think it's easy to fuck up a dinner, just like it's easy to fuck up anything if you don't actually care about it or love it.
Care about it, right?
I think that's what it's about.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
You can taste that shit, though. You can taste it you can taste when food is not good. You can taste when someone didn't. Yeah, when nobody put love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can absolutely taste that secret ingredient of love when you look at it, damn near, and that goes back to what you said earlier, Tark. All senses, you know what I mean?
All senses. You take cat old fashioned. You know what I'm saying? Old fashioned is a simple classic cocktail that people can make amazing and people can trash it. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about the love and attention and detail. You know what I'm saying? That you put into it. Just a little bit of attention. It's still simple. A little bit of attention. You know what I'm saying? Goes a long way with a really good old fashioned. So it's the same thing. You just gotta put your little you know what I'm saying?
So I'm excited about what's on deck for Hospitality Bros. I really am, man. I'm excited about
me too, yo.
The first event. I don't know if you guys want to speak to that at all, or
I mean, we can. I'm just looking at the time. We're having a great discussion. We can wrap. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's all going to come to it's sort of an amalgamation of what we've all talked about, and I think as we pour into just the specifics and the techniques behind how we can execute a kick-ass hospitality event. Talk a little bit about, and we haven't really touched upon about on this, but we've all had conversations offline about the unique and layered history, specifically the Black history behind hospitality, culinary, and beverage. Those kinds of things we want to pour into as well. We want to take people along for this ride. So I'm excited also.
Word. So yeah, man. So everybody can check us out, guys. So we're gonna be building up our Patreon. You know what I'm saying? We have some Patreon offerings. Within a few weeks, we'll let you know about that. Stay posted. On social media, we're Instagram at Hospitality Bros. We're on Twitter, was it H Bros? Twitter H Bros, and then Facebook Hospitality Bros. And also check out our website, www.hospitalitybros.com. Make sure you get on the email list. That's how you're gonna learn about everything that we got coming to you in the next few weeks. Promise you, we've been cooking up some stuff. We got some plans. We got some goodness planned for you. So I want y'all to miss it. Make sure y'all log in and check that out.
Absolutely. Jack says this is such a great thing. Jack, I know that I speak on behalf.
Shout out to Jack Connie.
Yeah, I was about to say I speak on behalf of Tarek and Sam. They were really, really excited and grateful to be on your platform. It was dope. The clips are hilarious. We didn't have any hats. We're not wearing hats today. No cool hats.
Look, I thought about that for you.
I thought about it too. But yo, listen, man, brothers, I'm very grateful to have had this time. I appreciate you guys allowing me to moderate, and I'm looking forward to the first event, man. I really am. I think everybody's really going to dig what you guys have up your sleeves and prepare for everybody. If they just come with an open mind, ready to have fun and enjoy one another, it's going to be dope. So Jack said he had a ball. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. So stay posted. Again, my thanks to Sam Bullock and Tarek David of Hospitality Bros. We love you all. Thank you for doing this for everybody. We're looking forward to the next thing. So enjoy the rest of your evening. And reach out to these guys at Hospitality Bros on Instagram, Hospitality Bros on Facebook, at HBruz on Twitter, and hospitalitybros.com is the website. So peace and love, everybody. Have a great evening.
Peace, y'all.